I'll listen to what you have to say. You're here. Welcome to the Vulgus Munitions Factory. You've made quite the impression at Kingston. So much so, I was tempted to recruit you for Colon. But then again, the enemy isn't exactly a pushover. However, now that we have the Guide as a strategic asset, I'm sure the trajectory of this war will change drastically. Shall we get started? Based on the coordinates provided by the Guide, the Ironheart excavation site is near the enemy's industrial zone. Unfortunately, the exact location needs to be confirmed in person. The coordinates are based on data from the time of the ancestors, and there's a high probability that the topography today will look a little different. I'll do recon around the industrial zone. While I'm doing that, your mission is to create a diversion to draw the enemy's eyes away from me. Even though I have active camouflage, things will be much easier if you can hold the enemy's attention. I'll tell Jeremy to stay behind and provide operational support. Jeremy seems to be unable to link with the Guide, so he won't be much use in finding the excavation site. He'll be better deployed using his arcade teleportation abilities as support for your diversion operation. Let's get moving. We need to restore the Guide's system as soon as possible.
What, me? Support? For crying out loud. Get to the point. Guide, guide, guide! That's all everybody talks about these days.
You've been ambushed, or did you let it happen? As a feint, it worked well, but you mustn't let your guard down. Those Vulgus cyborgs have had quite a few upgrades recently. You may suddenly encounter powerful units that aren't in our database. We're definitely in Vulgus-occupied territory. There's no end to it.
High-level Vulgus closing in. We've confirmed it's a new Kuiper-enhanced variant.
The one we're after. Make a note in the operations log, number 17. Thanks to the enemies being drawn your way, infiltration is going smoothly. Good job.
The communications deception transmitter at the Vulgus base is operational. Descendant, you need to protect the transmitter while it is operating. If the diversion works, we can detain a number of enemies here. the result of the communications. Continue to engage them and stall for time as long as possible. Tactical target achieved. Mission accomplished.
This is Sharon. I'm transmitting to all Allied forces deployed to this operation. We have an urgent development.
have something to tell me? Descendant, we have an urgent report on Sharon. Her current position is near the Vulgus munitions factory. Thanks to your diversionary tactics, she was able to reach the target safely, but the Vulgus have appeared. This is the sitrep recorded by Sharon's Deceive.
Operating arcade tracking matrix. Type of retrospective active camouflage detected. Probability of zone infiltration high. Ironheart excavation site status. Quarantine at the highest level of security. Terminate the Descendant on site. Terminate. Terminate.
This cyborg Vulgus, Edelik, is a commando-level model specializing in defense missions. It's armed with arcade tracking functions. And it seems the Vulgus already know about the Ironheart excavation site. I was told that the Ancestors' data was tightly guarded at Kingston. If the Vulgus have gained access to it, however, then this rigorous level of security makes sense. For the moment, Sharon has requested an attack on the repository's core facility to lure the Vulgus commander. Once the Vulgus have vacated the factory, she intends to try and infiltrate it again. Descendant, you and Jeremy are to launch an attack on the repository.
Are you sure this guide can be trusted? Didn't you guys win at King?
Descendant, the Ancestors' data.
How pathetic. A full operation for such a minor target? Guess the Colon Special Forces aren't that special after all. I've sent you a more appropriate mark, so you can show me what you can really do with those highfalutin skills of yours. Get it together, come on!
Tactical aim achieved. Mission accomplished, Descendant. Descendant, this place is a Kuiper mine that has been taken over by the Vulgus. The Vulgus' Kuiper mining methods are extremely aggressive, leading to devastating contamination. The ores we seize from them are unusable, so they must be destroyed. That storage box contains the Kuiper collected by the enemy. Opening it will reveal the contaminated Kuiper. Kuiper disassembler operational. Please destroy as much of the Vulgus Kuiper as possible. accomplished, Descendant.
This is Sharon. Nice work with the support. I've managed to shake off their tracking. I'm scouting for intel around the factory. I've relayed the coordinates of the temporary outpost, requesting all units to regroup at the designated location. Officially beginning infiltration operation.
That storage box contains the Kuiper collected by the enemy. Opening it will reveal the contaminated Kuiper. Kuiper disassembler operation. Please destroy as much of the bogus Kuiper as possible. Tactical aim achieved. Mission accomplished, Descendant.
Wanna feel a chill?
Do as I say. Oh, my beloved daughter, Daya. Hold on a little longer. Your mom will save you no matter what. Oh, my beloved daughter, Daya. Hold on a little longer. Your mom will save you no matter what.
Leave it to the construction car, Captain. I'll take care of it.
Are you excited to be here at my show? Hope you all enjoy it and have fun. all the cards on the battlefield. Are in my hands.
So, what's my role? Cook? Or arsonist?
I will not be afraid.
Inez Rhea, Hound Unit. Commencing operation.
The Vulgus can't see me. Why? Because I exist in their blind spot.
The void is...
Do as I say.
What do you get when you make... What do you get...
If it's new research, I'm listening. Humanity is very weak. That's why humans need us so desperately.
Are you ready to be shocked?
I've reviewed the most recent battle report. What was it like coming face to face with Corel?
I mean, I barely made it out alive.
He may not have shown it, but he was worried about you. Alpha?
I was. And I want you to take it easy for a while. Try a different mission. Have a look at this.
What are these?
We discovered them when we were going through records of past operations. These ones seem to involve your parents. So I'm hoping you'll look into them.
Records about my parents? Grandma, when are Mom and Dad coming back? Mom said she'd bring me a birthday present. She hates me, doesn't she? Is that why she left me? And Dad? Grandma? I don't want you to leave me too. I can't even remember what my parents looked like. When I think about my childhood, I only remember being with my grandmother. Why are you giving me this now? I'm fine. I'm fully recovered. I'd like to be assigned to a different operation.
Bunny, this is an order.
Ugh.
It won't be easy to find and restore these records. I've assigned you this because you're the best person for the job, and I expect you to do your best.
All right. I guess I'll do it.
Good. Don't forget I'll need progress reports. And you can ask Nell if you need anything.
Fine. Leave it to me.
It'll be fine for a while, all right? I'm alive, thanks to you. Oh yeah, how did I manage to get the slip on Ederlich? He retreated as soon as the battle at the mining site was over and headed toward a facility. It looked like he'd planned to do so from the beginning. I wondered what he was up to, but he actually did us a favor in the end. I think the Ironheart excavation site is underneath that facility. A pretty hastily built structure? Check. Multiple security devices guarding the entrance? Check. Commander-level Vulgus disappearing inside? You can see how it all adds up, right? I need to assign missions to all operatives to shut down the facility's multiple security devices. It'll require specific procedures, but I've had experience in dismantling many of these types of devices. Let's move. We need to get in there before the Vulgus can do anything to the excavation site.
I have to admit, not even my arcade can penetrate the quantum barrier of these security devices. Those rust buckets have put some thought into this.
Operation status, jammer installation complete. Using the jammer to neutralize the distress signal sent by Ederlich should allow us to bypass one of the Vulgus' security measures. Your task is to protect the jammer while I work. Protecting the jammer is your top priority. We can disable their security devices if it's destroyed. security devices disabled. Mission accomplished. Operation status, jammer installation complete. Using the jammer to neutralize the distress signal sent by Ederlick should allow us to bypass one of the bogus security measures. Your task is to protect the jammer while at work. Tactical target achieved. Enemy security devices disabled. Mission accomplished.
This is Sharon. All Vulgus security levels have been successfully deactivated. All units regroup at my position to investigate the Ironheart excavation site.
Regroup? Huh. Yeah, I don't think so. I think I'll sit this one out, Sharon.
What did you say? To bypass the multi-stage security system, you'll need a unique authentication sequence used by the Legion of Immortality. You need to collect samples from the Legion in good condition and put them in the supply box. These will be analyzed in Albion, and they'll send us a sequence we can use for security authentication. I've received word that the supply box has arrived safely. The authentication sequence is as good as secured. Good job.
Sending info on Mark. Objective, neutralize the base's power grid. Deactivating the power is the most basic and surefire way to break through secrets. Now that the attack has begun, tech units that protect the generators will start appearing. These units have the fuse parts we need. Use the parts to burn out the generator circuits. This is the last generator. Keep going, Descendant.
Concentrate defensive forces and power facility. Send high-level firepower units. The Descendant must be stopped. Execute them.
Power has been deactivated. Security system compromised. Tactical target achieved. Terminating mission relay.
Deploying elite forces to resume control.
You're almost there, Descendant. Keep after.
Barracks unrecoverable. Defense failed.
You've done it, Descendant. Mission relay terminated.
get to the point. It seems as if all of you have forgotten, so...
Sharon, give me the order and I will track him.
Let him be. Jeremy's RK ability is
Descendant, although it was not my...
You'll need to leave first, Descendant. Sharon's prosthesis has been damaged from excessive RK use. We'll join you as soon as we can.
Don't worry. You've seen what they're capable of. I hope these repairs can be done quickly.
So this is the Ironheart excavation site that was documented in the Ancestors' data. As you must know, the Ironhearts are mysterious entities that somehow made their way to Ingress. They were first discovered by the Architect. The Ironhearts were passed down to the Ancestors, my creators, and the forebears of the Descendants. We don't know why the Ancestors hid all the Ironhearts. This much is certain. I was created in order to lead you to them. After that, well, we'll come to that once we find you an Ironheart. Descendant, I'm detecting an unusual energy flow nearby. These are traces of Ironheart excavation. Ironheart microparticles confirmed. Initiating emergency restoration protocols to repair damaged systems. Descendant, we have retrieved Ironheart elements from the excavation site. Next, I must... Oh no. This wasn't just an excavation site. I need to interface with the Quantum Monolith, a data processor belonging to the Ancestors. This device contains my restoration data, which can be copied using Ironheart microparticles. I can guide you there. However, to access the Quantum Monolith, Descendant, I must undergo authentication here first. I should still have access, as it was my system and memories that were damaged. Please keep your arms away while the authentication is in progress.
Intruders accessing core asset. Approaching high-risk levels. Initiating facility lockdown procedures.
Descendant, passageways are being blocked across the facility. I'll do my best to find a way out, but it won't be easy to maneuver. Please be careful. As an excavation site, there must have been countless experiments conducted here using the Ironhearts. Emergency restoration protocols would have been one of them.
Captain General Haven's orders!
Amen. Descendant, I must access the quantum oneness. Defeat the Vulgus.
The void corrosion has encroached upon my legion.
That is because of an unknown error. It will be fixed momentarily. Complete. The security threat has been neutralized. I have completed all preparations as you commanded.
Begin.
The Legion will be reborn through the Iron Heart.
Rise, my warriors! Give your lives for Clipper! Stand at the vanguard for me, Al-Zarok. I will stand at the vanguard of the Legion. Al-Zarok submits to Lord Karel's command. Transport the Ironheart to my fortress. Initiate the data inversion immediately.
Descendant, even though the Vulgus managed to access the data first, I have been able to restore one of my core functions through the emergency restoration protocol. I am finally able to detect the Ironheart. Let me explain this function and how to utilize it. Descendant. My Ironheart detections within zones where...
Descendant, I've received the report on the results of the operation from Colon Special Forces. It seems the core...
Are you ready to be shocked?
Just get to the point. Descendant, a quick word before the...
HQ, we appreciate the support. The operation will commence once reinforcements arrive. Deactivating active camouflage. Sorry, I wasn't able to help you.
The Vulgus munitions factory. It truly is an ominous and horrifying place.
Can you feel that?
I can experience a variety of sensations through the arcane descendants, including the phantom pain you feel.
That's for me to deal with, Guide. Don't poke your nose in where it's not wanted. Once I've dealt with my personal target, then I'll ask you to remove the pain.
You refer to the Vulgus you were pursuing.
Tactical target achieved. Zone with substantial logistical activity discovered. A large volume of construction materials have been relocated from here to a suspect zone. At the same time, secret supplies have been transported from there back to here. This is definitely suspicious. I'll send this info to Sharon. Substantial logistical activity discovered. A large volume of construction materials have been relocated from here to a suspect zone. At the same time, secret supplies have been transported from there back to here. This is definitely suspicious. I'll send this info to Sharon.
HQ. While investigating traces of the Ironheart, we've discovered a zone in the factory area that looks to have been recently expanded. Considering the circumstances, I think it's highly likely that there's an Ironheart inside. Requesting approval for further investigation.
Approval granted, but proceed with extreme caution. A large assault ship has been spotted in the airspace above the area. Based on the ship's class, we think it's the same one that we saw Corell board. Either he's there in person, or something worthy of his attention is happening. We should be prepared for a challenging situation. We may need to deploy more descendants. Over and out.
Sharon, do we have any tactical weapons that are capable of destroying the entire Vulgus industrial area? If the Ironheart is here, we may be able to investigate after destroying the enemy's facilities.
It's an interesting idea, Guide. But if it were possible, you would have already done it. Unfortunately, we don't have the capabilities to create such a powerful weapon. The anti-air gun in the Albion mountain range is probably our heaviest hitter. That's why the Descendants and the Ironheart are humanity's last hope. Closing the dimensional wall to isolate Ingress from the Colossi and the Vulgus. That would be the ultimate tactical weapon. Anyway, we don't have time to chat. Let's head to the restricted zone. I've taken over operation of the environmental data collector we've installed. When we retrieve it, we'll be able to check the environmental parameters without coming into contact with contaminated wastewater. Will there be enough data for you to perform an analysis, Guide? You know our equipment can't detect Ironheart traces.
Once I complete analysis of the composition of the wastewater, I should know why I can detect Ironheart particles.
Then we'd better retrieve the data quickly. It will only be available for a limited amount of time.
This wastewater is composed of Kuiper extracts and Vulgus electrolytes. The Ironheart particles are most likely bound between those two substances. That's why they were detected intact and not dispersed.
If we can find the source of that wastewater, we could trace them more accurately. I have a place in mind.
Descendant, our reconnaissance indicates this is a Vulgus weapon processing facility. To analyze the particle flow, we need to take a closer look inside. The Vulgus are disrupting the particle flow. Please eliminate the Descendant. More enemies. I'm detecting signals from multiple Vulgus. This attack is relentless. Where are all their forces coming from?
Strange. We've already destroyed their barracks. There must be another military facility somewhere.
The Ironheart came through here and was moved somewhere else. I'll keep analyzing.